As you saw live here on CBS News, the District of Columbia Attorney General has filed a civil consumer protection lawsuit against the Washington Commanders football team.
Now, that suit alleges the team's owner, the NFL, and the league's commissioner swept complaints of a hostile work environment under the rug, all in the name of profits. The team has been under investigation for several sexual harassment, workplace misconduct, and deceptive business practice allegations. The team released a statement last night saying it was fully cooperating with the AG's office and has been nothing but transparent. But prosecutors claim team owner Dan Snyder not only knew about the misconduct, he encouraged it and punished employees who spoke out against the abuse.
For years, the team and its owner have caused very real and very serious harm and then lied about it to dodge accountability and to continue to rake in profits. So far, they seem to have gotten away with it, but that stops today.
The Commanders released a statement saying, in part, they acknowledged an unacceptable workplace culture existed and apologized for it. They said, quote, "We agree with AG Racine on one thing. The public needs to know the truth. Although the lawsuit repeats a lot of innuendo, half-truths, and lies, we welcome this opportunity to defend the organization for the first time in a court of law and to establish once and for all what is fact and what is fiction." We have reached out to the NFL for a comment as well, and when we get a response to that, we will report it. Now, joining us with more is former Washington football team employee Megan Imbert. She was a production manager with the team's television department. Megan, welcome. You say that you were, in your words, a victim of the hostile work environment there. Tell us, what's your response to the announcement from Attorney General Racine?
I think today is the most significant day of the past 2.5 years. It's, to me, a true step toward accountability for everything that former employees have gone through. And it means a lot. It's very surreal. I feel like we've been in the center of kind of a tornado.
You know, for most of us, Megan, we don't know what it's like to work on a football team, around a football team. Speak to us about what you experienced and how that is a part of what the Attorney General is alleging was part of the practice at the team.
I'm one of many women that experience sexual harassment, derogatory comments, daily comments about what we were wearing. And that's just surface level. There's other things that I know the investigations are going to reveal. So in daily, just berated, you'd hear people cursing and yelling at each other. It really was a very hostile place to work. And I think a lot of the folks that have come forward truly, I would equate it to an abusive place to work. And I think a lot of us are still dealing with some of the repercussions of that.
Megan, in addition to Dan Snyder, the Attorney General is also alleging that the NFL and the Commissioner Roger Goodell swept things under the rug. Given what you know, given your personal experience, tell us what you believe needs to happen and if you think that this is an appropriate response.
Absolutely. I was very pleased today when I heard the D.C. Attorney General state that Roger Goodell and the NFL are also a part of this lawsuit. We know because of Congress that there was a common interest legal agreement between the team and the NFL, basically sharing the findings of the Wilkinson investigation, where we had over 150 participants share their stories. And for me to hear those words today, that there's a chance that at least it's starting to hold the NFL and Roger Goodell also accountable really meant a lot. It was surprising to hear that they were going to go in that direction as well, but that's something we've been calling for. We've been lied to, we've been misled, and I'm hoping that this is just the beginning of truly holding all parties accountable for the gross conduct of how this whole situation was handled. The NFL is a microcosm of society, and there's an opportunity here to not only improve the workplace of the NFL, but frankly, other workplaces throughout this nation.
And Megan, I know that you attended the press conference today. You're encouraged by what you're hearing, but just so that we all understand, when you were experiencing the abuse, the toxic work environment, what happened when you complained about it? How How is, in your view, the organization responsible for not just allowing it to happen, but sweeping it under the rug as well?
Well, when I was there really wasn't a way to report these things. HR didn't properly exist. There weren't proper protocols and training, workforce conduct that you might experience in corporate America. The inner circle of the owner, Dan Snyder, those leaders throughout the organization, there was nowhere to go. They were the bad actors as well. So leadership, in my opinion, stems from the top. And until that there's a change there, can this franchise really change? So there really wasn't a place for us to go. And I know some folks that did try, there was retaliation against them, or they might have lost their job. And so a lot of times people wouldn't even come forward with a complaint because either we weren't going to be believed or there was some kind of repercussion.
Megan, will getting rid of Dan Snyder fix things?
I think it's a start. But as the Attorney General pointed out, I think that there is a systemic issue with the way Roger Goodell handled this investigation. There's been other investigations that I think have been mishandled. So I'd like to see this be a positive for change throughout the league. And, you know, it might help other industries as well.
Takes a lot of bravery to stand up and put your face and name out there. Megan Imbert, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.